Yo,
What's up, man?
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Good to
good.
have you in here.
Hell yeah, man. Sorry it took so long.
For sure. It took too long for me to damn call you all these times.
It's all good, man. Living life. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Yeah, that's right.
Yup, yup. And it's cool too that just like naturally we kind of, even though we didn't talk, we still keeping tabs on each other through social media. You know what I'm saying? I see you keeping out what I'm doing. I'm always paying attention to your movement and what you're doing as well. So
Yeah.
it's just good to link back because you know what I'm saying we got a lot of history together. You know.
Oh yeah, that connection, man. I mean, it's definitely been over 10 years
Hmm.
and starting from back then and you passing mixtapes and handing everybody a mixtape and me
Yeah, yeah.
thinking that I'm going in series. Like, I mean, that's where I first heard about Fidget. That's how I got to know you. And then like that cooking on 4 or 3 burners or whatever it was, man, that
Yeah.
was hard. I love that part.
Word. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mixtape series, like the way that you were doing remixes of everybody's popular song and just calling yourself the comeback kid or the throwback kid every time and doing a mixtape on
Hmm.
all the hottest the brand new singles. Whenever you did those, like that's what got me interested in your music. And then it was like you were on fire with those. Like you
Yeah.
were just coming out with tracks on tracks on tracks, songs nonstop. Like you were really hitting it hard. And you were
Yeah.
hitting the streets hard too.
Yeah.
Especially like
And
the
can you
mixtape
hear me?
days, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The crazy thing is too is like what I used to do down south is I would have because like I mean that was like DJ drama affiliate like heavy
but you
days
put it
too.
out yourself.
No, 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 for sure. But what I used to do too is like I had different gas stations. We used to have the little stands at the front. I used to go get the
I need
mixtapes
it
from
again.
everybody and mix my
Yeah,
shit in there. You know
I
what I'm
need it
saying?
again.
Like so,
Yeah,
but that was the culture then, and like you know what I'm saying. Like definitely like it's the what people consider a mixtape has even changed. So I um I just seen that the shift, and I think it's cool as well. Like to be honest, mixtapes to me is like sparring. Like as a if you think about being an MC as an athlete, it's like I always love mixtapes because they keep me in good lyrical shape. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you're dealing with maybe you rapping on a track that you wouldn't normally even attack or whatever,
right.
and it just keeps you
Hmm.
sharp. So I think it's something that I always do, and I am working on my new project as well. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely overdue time for a mixtape. So I appreciate you even saying something about that because you just motivated me to drop some new shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. This because you got more lyrical with each one, connected with people at different levels on each one, and
Mm-hmm.
we're hitting the tracks hard on each one. Especially when you did the when you remixed what was the name of that the Cameron when you remix his speaking in tongues.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, when that remix dropped and you had that on the tape, and then you also did it was a Drake and Wayne track where you remixed also, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
2 more of those, and I mean they were just you were getting at people on different levels and really catching their attention because that's how people had to get an audience in those days because it was like, well, check out my music, but it's like this is the hottest song out right now. Like I want to hear
Mm-hmm.
what you do this. If I hear you freestyle or you do anything, like I'm gonna be more interested and inclined to listen to your music.
Mm-hmm. Man,
They ain't
I'm
listening to people just because.
yeah, no, for sure. I'm glad you brought that up too, because honestly, like I don't have that many albums to my name, but I got like, a good 15 mixtapes out there that
That's
are
what
full
took
ass
it off.
projects.
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
it's like that was the time period when like you could definitely like there get away with that. Like I think as things change, especially with like just pirating. You remember when DJ Drama got that Rico case? You know what I'm saying? Because
Back,
they was
back,
putting
back, back,
that,
back,
yeah, yeah,
way back.
right. But
Yeah.
that's when the game changed we couldn't take people's stuff no more and make money off of it if we didn't own the beat.
That's
That's
why
why.
I'm glad I might not even drop the track name, but still at the same time, if I say speaking in tongues, you might know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's also just like a conscious effort to like know as an artist that, okay, when I do a mixtape now, I'm not making no money off this shit. I'm doing this shit for the people, for the streets, because, and that's what it breaks down to. That's why you don't see that many people doing it no more. But I love to get back to that essence, and I feel like it is important. Like this shit, that we created, although it's very profitable, it started off because people just had a love for what they were doing, and I definitely just yeah, man, you're gonna hear more mixtape stuff for sure.
The
You
origins
can't
of
just
hip hop.
you can't knock it. You can't knock it. There's nothing like it. I noticed there are some artists that stay true to that to this day. Like I fuck with Dave East. He, even Fab still coming hard with the remixes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
definitely, man. But what you been up to, man? I remember Soul Monkey, man. Like Soul Monkey, I know that's like this gang for life, but y'all was just like y'all used to pull up in the motherfucking. Y'all had like a whole fleet of them Scions when
It
they
just
first
never
came out.
stopped.
Y'all motherfuckers had the print all over the whip.
Oh
Used to
my
pull up at the
God.
club, cut the line with
Yeah.
your motherfucking skateboards. Y'all niggas came through all decked out. I was like, man, I was so happy to be a part of that shit. Like I rocked all that gear with pride, and it actually really helped me to figure out what I wanted to do when I started my clothing line. So salute to you. For a lot of people don't
Yeah,
know, you got your
that's
hands in
one of the
everything.
biggest parts of why we're doing this interview. Also, because I know that you got your own F-Rock clothing label, and you print and distribute your own products,
Mm-hmm.
and been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like something that you also need to incorporate into the music, even to another step, because it keeps going.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you doing that for as long as you have, because you had that product, you were doing F-Rock back when I met you then. And it was
Yeah.
all in your mixtape. And you also made sure to include the website, like linked in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
dope, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a journey because it's not like like we went to school for it. So it's like you're learning about the business as you're in it. You
Right.
know what I'm
As
saying? I
it
remember
goes.
I remember seeing y'all at like Magic and different places, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
that was
like
the
yeah, like so
beginning.
it's like you got to get out there, figure out what it's about, and it's like also I feel like the hip hop is so young. There's not really a lot of brands that have had staying power. We don't even know what that means, but we
From
we
then, from
we
that
we we,
point.
we idolize the brands that have been around for hundreds of years, like the Louis and the Gucci's and stuff like that. We've
Right.
never even had the opportunity to see what's gonna be around, what's not. But anyone who does stick around for a minute, I feel like it is greater later for them. Like I still see a lot of like shit. Supreme have been around for like 20 years before it really
Supreme still
got
goes.
that.
Crooks and Castles still go.
Yeah,
10
yeah,
Deep
yeah.
still goes.
Yeah,
The 100 still goes.
exactly, man. So it's just cool just to be in the game through the different seasons and be with it through the changes and stuff like that. So if anything, man, it's a natural progression. You know what I'm saying, of things. But I respect the people who's still around. So salute to you and salute to me for that as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those are rare.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few questions, and I'm gonna just go ahead and dive in and start asking you these so we can get the interview.
Yes.
And then the first question I got for you is like, how have your live shows helped you at all, if anything, musically?
Um. It. So when you're connecting with people at a show, like you first understand the impact of the song that you made. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're making a song, you might think it's great or whatever, but then like when you're performing it, you have a different vibe. You're able to do like real life, analytics on the situation. Like you're like, okay, people really vibe with this song because of this or because of that, and so it helps you
Right.
to know yourself a little bit better as an artist, or what you should, what your next move should be, or even maybe the order that you want to put your set in based off of that. So I think it's good feedback any way you slice it, just to be able to have that energy of people when you perform the song versus you just making the song and having your own vibes about it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know you've been performing. You've been like, I was out here, and that was like a big weekend or something, and you had a show that you were doing somewhere, and you were like, yo, pull up on me. I got mixtapes. I'm gonna do this show. It's gonna be over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you started doing live shows then, and that was a minute ago.
Yeah.
Definitely Drake and Wayne.
Yeah. Nah, man.
Still,
I think honestly, man, so real statistics, you know what I'm saying? Like 90% of artists make all their money on the road anyways. There's only about 10% that can sustain themselves off of radio spins or whatever the case may be. So it's like it's you're giving people a different experience every night possibly. So it's like that's why you got people that'll follow you on the road to different shows. You really get to build. People don't really get to, I guess nowadays, you know, with social media, you can let people know who you are as much as you want to, but I
Right.
feel like traditionally going to the show was how you got to know the artist better, especially when you didn't have all the outlets that you have now. And so a good show's never going out of style, and it's something that I pride myself on. Now I love to perform. It's probably one of the best aspects of what I do, and the easiest way to affect change, or just, you know what I'm saying, just have people feel my message. So definitely, man, always gonna keep building with that. Bigger and better shows, more shows on the way, you know.
All right. Second, the next question I got for you is, if you had to single out a moment that inspired your career, what would it be?
Hmm. Probably working with Rico Love in the studio, having a chance to like really like, I was working with him pretty tough to the point where he didn't realize that he was teaching me so much. He would never sit down and teach me stuff, but just by watching him, you know, if you don't know his story, he got signed to Usher, you know what I'm saying, as a rapper. They didn't really know how to market him being under an R&B singer. And Usher was like, yo, no one can write to this record. If you can write to this record, I'll get you some money. Because he was frustrated. He wasn't getting where he felt like he needed to be. He wrote the song Throwback on Usher's album, and that shit went like 9 times platinum. And that's how he got into just being a songwriter and getting so many bags from songwriting. So being in the studio with him, producing stuff, and watching him grow and figuring out that, you know what, you don't just have to be in the spotlight being a rapper. Like, there's hella ways to get the bag in music, and as long as you just figure out, as long as you keep honing your talent and doing what you love to do, the universe is gonna find a way for you to get the bag. And so that's what I always pride myself on, is just like not just being a rapper and in the forefront that way, but just naturally just being an artist. And if you focus on that, it's gonna come back to you somehow. But I think Rico's the one who made me realize, like, okay, there's a million ways to get it, so let's get it, you know?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Final question I got is, do you feel like you have more of a buzz than you did 10 years ago, or less, or is it the same?
I feel like it's a different generation of people who are discovering my music all the time. And so I'm always gonna be a new artist to somebody, and then I still have the other people that are rocking with me as well. So it's hard to say. I'd like to say that I feel like there's definitely more people, because naturally the longer you live, the more energy you're putting out on the earth doing different things. So people may know me for breakdancing, people may know me for producing beats, for writing songs, for rapping, for designing clothes. But the longer I'm on the earth, the more you get a chance to know all the aspects of me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you gravitate towards one of them more than the other. I feel like it, for me, the best rappers, I don't, it's not just the music, it's who they are as a person and what they're doing outside of the music, because that's going to be in the music. So hopefully,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, as I'm growing, y'all growing with me. So I definitely say I'm attracting more support nowadays than before, now that I think about it, you know?
Have you done more shows this time
I've been
around?
performing a lot, but you know, I've been on the West Coast, so like in building things back up in Seattle as well, just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like coming back here from Atlanta was a whole transition, and when I came back here, there was just a whole bunch of cats in the scene just on the West Coast, period. Cats I ain't even heard of yet, and I know they possibly ain't heard of me, because that's just how it is. It's out of sight, out of mind. So it's very important for me at this stage to be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like to be planting roots in the hometown, but also, you know what I'm saying, I still got the studio in ATL. I'm
But
still
I feel like hosting these shows like you've been doing is kind of like the next level now. You know, like your album, the album you came out with a few years ago, you just came out with probably like was your second album,
yeah, yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
called No Compromise.
yeah, no, for sure. And I will say this, that like in this area that I'm in right now in the Northwest, like when you do a show, you're doing it at an actual, like if you're doing it on a level, you're doing it at like a venue that's meant for that. In Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the spots were your music gets broken. It's at clubs, it's at strip clubs, it's at clubs. The sound
You
system's
just
not even.
perform.
Yeah,
You just go do it.
the sound system's not even meant for certain things.
Yeah.
So what you seeing is also just, it just depends on where you're at. Like you know, you got to do the clubs, you got to do different venues or whatever. But I think the level's the level, but the venues may have changed. You feel me? So
Yeah.
yeah, but definitely, man. You said you still in the A or no?
Great. Yeah, I'm still in the city. Like I've been in Atlanta and just doing my thing. I got my own brand, and that 130 has been going since over 10 years now.
Yep. 130 gang for sure.
Yeah, and just connecting with different artists and just doing like these type of interviews right now, just to kind of distribute a little more information about people that I've known and things I've known about for years now, and kind of bringing that to like the next another level of things that I'm doing. And the 130 label, like I got music, clothing, and we're doing licensing deals, and I got my own boards, and I mean it just kind of been going on and on,
Let's do a
and which
collab,
people
man.
know
Let's do
about.
something together.
Yeah, we could do a collab if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Um,
do it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's long overdue, man. Long overdue. Well, man, I mean, I got a little bit more time. I actually do have to jet in just a little bit here, but if you know what I'm saying, I can always jump back on with you some other time. It's always a good vibe. And if you had any other questions,
Yeah.
man, you know, I'm here. I got like 15 minutes before I really got a jet, but this has been great though.
Well, you said you're doing a rehearsal right before this, so I'll
Yeah.
let you go. And I just wanted to ask you these couple questions real quick.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, you as well. What size shirt you wear? Just so I know. I'm gonna send you. I got something for
Give
you.
me 2X.
2X. All right, man. I'm gonna chop it up with you, brother. Yes, sir. Have a
All right.
blessed one. All right, man.
You too. Have a good day, man. Peace.
Peace.